Hello to everybody watching today's video. We are here in a cottage. That's why the scenery looks strange to say the least. Cue B-roll. Yep, this is a creepy ass place. I wanted to talk to you guys about the reasons why I stopped smoking DMT. Now, when I say stopped, I mean take a break. If you've been following my channel for any length of time, you've noticed that I've gone through these periods where almost every other video is about DMT, and then there will be just this long lull, this huge break of anything DMT related, and then all of a sudden they'll slowly start to crop up again. And this is because that's how I kind of go through my various psychedelic cycles. I might be really into exploring one for a while, and then sometimes something problematic might happen that scares me away. You know, I put it down for a while, I do other things, and then sometimes I revisit them. And I wanted to talk to you guys about why I currently am not smoking DMT, because I don't really have much of an urge to revisit it at all. And there's a few reasons. Now, it would be easy just to say that I got scared, I had an experience that freaked me out, and that's why I put it down, but that's not necessarily all of it. That might be some of it, but not all of it, so I wanted to make this very quick video because I think it might help you in your own journeys.
According to YouTube guidelines shown here, videos which intend to educate are documentary by nature and do not glorify the use of drugs, though abide by the community safety guidelines and are eligible for monetization. The following video does not glorify the use of drugs, instead attempts to be non-biased while delivering life-saving information disguised as entertainment.
So I want to say the number one reason why I felt the need to put the DMT down is because of my family. And you would argue, hey Adam, even when you first started smoking it, you had one child. But it's almost like, now that I got three, it's almost like as they started multiplying, it got harder and harder to let go of all of them. Because what the DMT realm has shown me is that none of this reality right now that I'm communicating you through this camera, through the internet, everything that is going on in this world is, for lack of a better term, not real. Not real in the sense of this being the ultimate reality and there's nothing else out there. These experiences show you that it doesn't really matter what happens here. I mean, if you're all one consciousness essentially, and we're all really just incarnations of life. Like every living thing is made of the same stuff, and we are all beings experiencing life, albeit in very different ways, because that's what life does. I mean, we're all even doing the same dance, just different variations of that dance. So it's like when it shows you that, and you look around at the people you love, and you realize that in truth, they exist as much as you exist, which is not at all, it gets scary, and it gets really hard to let go of those that you love. And any parent knows when you have kids, you can change from being, say, a risk taker, kind of like I was, to being more apprehensive and cautious, or you probably already had those features about your personality as I did, but it pulls them out, it brings them to the forefront, whereas before you could neatly tuck them away and hide them with an overemphasis on arrogance. But now it's like, no, you gotta take care of these other little beings that depend on you for their very existence, and you want to give them the best life possible. It's hard to stay motivated or happy if you're constantly putting yourself into an experience that shows you how fake all of this is. Nobody wants to have the even idea that their kids don't actually exist, let alone that they don't actually exist. It's like, yeah, no, I'm fine letting go of who I am, but my kids, hell no. If you're a parent, then you totally understand what I'm talking about. And once DMT started showing me that, the resolution of that image just got crisper and crisper, and it got bigger and bigger to the point where it was kind of like I couldn't look away. And there's something to say for feeling like you have to face that constantly. It can be draining. And I'm sure there's a point that you can get to where you're just accepting of like, yeah, this is the way it is, and I'm cool with that. And I would say that I am maybe 45-50% of the way there. I'm getting there. Not saying I'm cool with me and my kids and everything in this reality not actually existing, but it's like I'm starting to understand that that's just the way things are, and there's beauty in that. I'm not going to dig too deep into where you've got to mine the beauty out of, because that's another video all in its own right, but there is beauty in this whole process because life is fucking beautiful. Well, that's the biggest reason. The second biggest reason would simply be time. Like you would argue, but Adam, DMT was called the businessman's trip. That's what it's coined. How can you not have time for 5 to 10 minutes? Well, the trip may last 5 to 10 minutes, but the aftermath and the realization that it can impart you with, that can last well, your entire life. The actual experience and how it can change you might be permanent. And trying to build up the psyched substance, having a family that's getting bigger, it's like I don't have all of the energy to put into psychedelic exploration as when I was just like this single dude backpacking around the world kind of thing. The third biggest reason is I got the message. Alan Watts famously said, when you get the message, hang up the phone. And while I don't agree with that quote, I've explained why I don't agree with it many times, I have temporarily gotten the message and I'm still ruminating on it. I am still extracting valuable information, and the messages that I have learned, yes, plural messages, are still helping me in my life. I'm still integrating them, you could say, which is a huge part of the psychedelic experience. You don't want to just trip and not integrate anything, because then what's the point of the trips? You want to meditate on them, you want to journal about it, you even just want to kind of forget about it for a while and see how it pops its head back up into your life in various ways. By it, I mean the philosophical knowledge that you may have gained. And if you don't do this, then it's like, I'd argue, what's the point of tripping? Then you're just doing it for fun. It's just another hedonistic pursuit. And most of us have enough hedonistic pursuits. We don't need to add another rung there. So I would say that what I have learned has been extremely valuable and life-changing. It has very much so changed the way I view this reality, and not all in a negative way. When I talk about, oh, my kids don't exist, it's like that seems like now I view the world as this terrifying place where when you're dead, that's it. And you need to just hold on and grasp so tightly to life because you're terrified of potentially not existing and being nothingness. But it's not like that. That is actually not even what I believe happens. And that's part of what I've been integrating, is my understanding of, the fundamentals of how this reality is not formed, but how and why we are here. I believe, again, this is my personal belief, that I have been shown, well, just that, the fundamentals of this reality. And I don't really know how to explain them in English, let alone in a way that anyone could freaking understand, even using pictures. But it's kind of like it's shown me, well, I am saying I'm afraid of all that other stuff, but it's also, on the flip side of that coin, shown me that there's really nothing to be afraid of. And it has changed the way that I view this world to such a degree where I would say my anxiety around life and my anxiety around dying has been severely lessened, which is kind of paradoxical, because you would think that with what I initially said, the first reason that would raise my fear of, death. But no. Well, at first, when I first experienced DMT, back when I first started tripping, it definitely heightened my fear of death after some really scary encounters with like entities and stuff like that. But now I would say it's changed that. That's in conjunction with, as I've said, learning how to meditate and focus on the breathing and kind of learning how to observe my thoughts. I have come to the realization, I've built my own beliefs as to why I believe we are here and what this reality is all about. And it's the answers I found have been very comforting. Now, I could go on to explain that, and I'm sure you guys want to know what that is, but I wanted to keep this video short, and that is a video all in its own right. I mean, that's more than just one video. So if you guys want to know exactly what I've learned from DMT that has comforted me so much in, reducing my fear of death, and mind you, I'm still very much so afraid of death. Like, that's part of being human. We have a survival mechanism that kicks in, which says, you must fear death, because if we didn't have that, then nothing would end up happening. And, civilization wouldn't advance. We wouldn't evolve. So it's a fundamental and necessary fear that we have. So I'm not saying that it's eliminated my fear of death, but it has definitely reduced my anxiety in many, many ways. And this has come with getting a real grip on the foundations, I believe, of reality. I don't know how to word it. Why we're here, what we're doing here, what this actually is, what happens when you leave. It's like, I feel like I've been shown some real deep answers that I find extremely comforting. Like I'm just wrapped in one of my warm, awesome trip blankets. And this is an awesome opportunity to shamelessly plug my trip blankets. If you haven't already, pick up the trip blanket. Usually they're on for pre-order, but right now we have hundreds of them in stock. Anyway, that concludes this video. I'm kind of leaving it off at a cliffhanger, so if you want to know more about what I've learned, let me know below, and I'll make another video all about what DMT has taught me about the nature of reality. Till next time, take care, guys. Smash that like button, hit that thumbs up, show your love, and I'd love to hear your own experiences and if DMT has lessened or heightened your fear of death. More so, what part on the ladder you're at, because like I've been at the it heightened my fear, now I'm at the less fear. Maybe it's gonna come full circle and I'll get scared again, who knows. Anyway, till next time, take care, guys, and I will see you all in the next video.